the religious value of the land of Israel, right? Something we take for granted, at least some of our communities. There's an incredibly important message that Moshe Rabbeinu gives to the Jewish people at the very beginning of Parshas Dvarim, right? Moshe is, excuse me, in the beginning of Parshas Dvarim, really trying to prepare the people for entry into Eretz Yisrael. He has chapters, 25, 26 chapters of speech, literally preparation for the Jews as they enter Eretz Yisrael. Maybe one of the most important lessons at the very, very beginning. In the fifth pasuk, right, Moshe Rabbeinu says, "Be'ever hayarden be'eretz Moav," right, on the other side of the Jordan, the land of Moab. Ho'il Moshe, Moshe begins, Ba'er et HaTorah hazot lemor. He begins to explain the Torah. Right, now, what would you expect that to be? So the Ben Ezra simply says, right, that he's going through, right, to the children. Moshe is telling the children of the people who experienced the last generation's events, Mash Irala Abutam, what happened to their fathers. The Amar Lehem, and he said to them, Kol HaMitzvot, all the mitzvos, Gam Aseres HaDvarim, the 10 Commandments, right, which we have in Parshas Va'eschanan, right, Sheshamu Avoteim Mipi Hashem, that their fathers, their last generation, heard from Hashem, they too should hear from Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Be'eret HaTorah is the Torah, meaning the mitzvos, Aseres HaDvarim, right? Rashi says it means the translation into 70 languages. Right. But both agree that this is what the Torah is. But if you keep reading in the Chumash, you'll see something fascinating. What comes right after that? Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem our God, Diber Eleinu b'chorev. Right? Hashem spoke to us in Chorev. Chorev is the word, Har Chorev. That's Har Sinai. We're expecting the 10 Commandments, and the Torah sets it up by using Har Chorev. Right? It's not what we find. What's the next words? Rav lachem shevet b'har hazeh. It's enough dwelling on this mountain. Penu u'su'u lachem, get up, turn, travel, etc. Right? You got to continue to travel. Next pasuk, Re'ei natati lifnechem et haaretz. I gave you the land of Israel. Bo'u rishu et haaretz. Come inherit the land. Right? Conquer the land that Hashem promised to your forefathers. What is the Torah, or part of the Torah, that Moshe is explaining? Right? It seems abundantly clear. Part of that Torah is settling the land of Israel. Right? We're not going to the land of Israel simply to escape the Egyptians. Part of it, for sure, no question. We don't want to be subjugated. But living in the land, doing the mitzvot in the land, living as a Jewish ideal society, representing God in the world and the land, that's part of the Torah. It's a religious part of our national existence. Right? That's a critical and important message. Rav Kook in 1917, when he was working very hard to get the Balfour Declaration passed, there were a group of secular and Reform Jews who were united with our enemies to try and stop the Balfour Declaration, because they claimed that Judaism is a religion, but it's not a nationality. It's not connected to a specific land. There's no value in Eretz Yisrael. And Rav Kook, who I saw mystical holiness in the land of Israel, right? He got up at that time and he gave a speech, right? And he said it's impossible. Right? He said there are people who say there's a religious element to Judaism. There's a national land element to Judaism, right? And one said yes, and one said that. And Rav Kook said, it can't be. It's of course both. Yeah, of course there's a religious element to Judaism, Torah and mitzvos, as we conceive them, right? Shabbos and Yontif and learning Torah and Shema and davening, kashrus, etc., etc. But there's also a national element connected to the land, to our being as a nation, as God's people in this world, and they can't be separated, right? It can't be. And he quotes a pasuk that we say all the time, right? Ata echad b'shimcha echad mikam chad Yisrael go echad ba'aretz, right? Hashem is one, His name is one, who is like the Jewish people? One, they're one in the land, right? And he read that as united both in terms of the land and the Judaism. All right, today we have the same thing in Eretz Israel. We have, right, a certain element of the religious in Israel that see Judaism as a religion, as a Torah-based religion, but don't see any real value in being a people in the land. And we have a secular group that sees a value of being a people in the land, but without the religion. And then you have a group in the middle who follow Rav Kook's vision, right? The vision that is laid out here in the book of Dvarim, that, right, we are religious Zionists. Of course, we believe in the Torah and mitzvos in the classical diaspora sense, but we believe we see tremendous value, religious value, in Eretz Yisrael, being in the land and functioning as a Jewish society in the land of Israel. That is the ideal, that's the dream, and that's what we are building towards. Shabbat Shalom.